with Donna Gustafson, council on the city council for Forest Grove and running for re-election. Welcome, Donna. Thanks so much for your time today. We want to use this as an opportunity to help voters understand a little more about yourself and the issues that are top of mind for you and your community these days. For voters who may not be familiar with you and your work on behalf of Forest Grove, maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself and why you have chosen the City Council as a way to work and help your community.
Sure. Yes, I grew up locally on a small farm, a small family farm in Banks, Oregon, and developed a strong work ethic at a long age, working on the farm. That experience prepared me for my career in healthcare, which started at 16. Where I progressed from entry-level role to senior project manager, which is the position I hold today. 4 years ago, I ran for city council because I was concerned with the direction of our police department. There was a bit of drama going on, and some people were released from duty, and there was some lawsuits. And as a council member, I was very committed to improving the law enforcement culture. One of my initiatives and one of the first actions I took as a counselor was to establish a sabbatical program for officers. And that was my first meeting, was with Chief Ryman to discuss the option and the benefits of a sabbatical program. The demanding nature of a police officer's work, they often face burnout and stress. They're met with very challenging situations all during the day, and I really expect excellence from them, maturity and calm and de-escalating procedures. And that's very difficult to do if you've had a really hard day and a really hard week and a really hard 5 years, to be able to put your feelings at home and put your biases at home. It's a struggle for officers. The sabbatical program provides them with a very needed opportunity to recharge and reflect and return to their duties with a refreshed and renewed attitude. And Forest Grove now has the first sabbatical program for their law enforcement department in the state of Oregon, and the third in the nation. And I hope that this program spreads to other departments, because it has been very successful in the city of Forest Grove.
All right, excellent. And I'm going to go off video just so I don't get any disruption on that. So
Sure.
as we move into the next question. Donna, we're 2 years out of some of the worst of COVID, and cities and communities are trying to evolve in this post-COVID world and return to as much normalcy as they can. What are cities doing? And are they doing enough for small businesses in this post-COVID world?
That's a great question. Post-COVID, I believe our community has undergone significant shifts, just based on the being restricted to our homes during COVID, and the change in our structure, the change in our habits, the change in our social norms. And many of us have adopted homebound lifestyles as a result of that, and it's been hard to get out of it. Students have been accustomed to virtual learning, and while I love the flexibility of remote options, I'm a remote worker myself, and I think it is a very equitable way to learn and to work, and it keeps cars off the road, right? A little bit of environmental sustainability there. We have to prioritize the engagement with these students to get the learning outcomes back where we want them to be. It's very easy to just not show up to school, even though we are full in school now and no longer need to be remote. Additionally, the rising costs of dining out and shopping locally have made activities less accessible to people. You pair that with the habits of staying home, and that's become a problem. So combined with the staying home and the rising costs of eating out and shopping small, it's negatively impacted our small businesses quite a bit. I believe to revitalize the local economy, we have to understand the underlying reasons for the shift in behavior and try to adjust that shift and implement strategies to encourage people to venture out and support the small businesses, even if that means that the city incentivizes shopping small.
All right. Excellent. You mentioned education and its effect. Education is paramount, whether we're post-COVID or not, and it's paramount for voters, especially those with families. What are we as a community doing to address things like increasing high school graduation rates and test scores in a community like Forest Grove?
Sure. Again, to address the decline in student engagement and attendance, we have to reprioritize connecting with those students, find a way to connect with them with a flexible but constant educational experience. So that's something that needs to be identified. And we must provide reliable internet access. That is crucial to all students to have that equal opportunity to access educational resources and tools. At the city level, we can implement initiatives to bridge that digital gap and guarantee internet connectivity for every student. Additionally, if we foster partnerships between the city and the school district, we can come up with collaborative programs and enhance the educational outcomes of the students. And while discussing the problems and solutions is important at the city level, it is essential that we hold ourselves accountable for taking action. There's a lot of times we talk about it and we have a lot of great ideas, and then it stops there. I think we have to make a promise to ourselves and our community. If we're going to talk about a problem, we are going to see it through. And once we implement these new strategies, it will be very supportive to our students, to the education, and the learning environment to our students. Our graduation rates are below average. So that is something we really need to help the schools with by partnering with them, because our students are our future.
You mentioned internet connectivity. Is that and the how that brings access for students? Do you believe that internet and some of the capabilities of internet should be treated more as a life requirement for both students and adults, or what do we do to ensure equitable access?
Absolutely. Water, food, shelter, internet access is vital now to a modern world. It's essential for education, employment, healthcare, government services. And to ensure everybody has access, we need to invest in the infrastructure and make internet affordable and safe and provide the digital literacy training. There's a lot of people that need help with the training to use the internet. Offering public Wi-Fi is also another option that the city can provide in order to make internet more accessible to people. This will be more equitable, more inclusive if we are able to provide this modern service that is really essential to our livelihood to the entire community. Increasing the internet access, I believe, will also increase the student test scores and graduation rates, which, like I said, are below average. They need that educational tool in order to succeed and to excel. I'm currently a member of the League of Oregon Cities Broadband Cybersecurity AI and Telecom Committee, and we're pushing for legislation which will increase broadband access in rural areas and increase the security of that access, and to also hold those broadband companies accountable for better rates. As the city partnerships with offering public Wi-Fi and partnerships to provide digital literacy training for the community members, especially our youth and our aging community. This is going to really help us stay connected as a community and stay safe and informed as a community.
Oh, excellent, excellent. One of the big challenges that we face today is climate change. I think we all remember a couple of years ago when Forest Grove, it was like 114 degrees in the summer, an unheard of summer temperatures. But it's a big issue, and we often have to ask ourselves, what can we as individuals do for something that is kind of a global issue? Can you put this in the terms of the community, and how do you think small communities, small cities like Forest Grove can help their citizens to help address this issue of climate change?
Sure. Yes, I remember that year. I was a small business owner at the time and owned a little bistro in Forest Grove. And we stayed open and provided food for travelers who were actually stuck in Forest Grove and couldn't get anywhere, and to the firefighters who were fighting the fires. So that was quite an impactful event. Individual actions that each of us can take can have a significant impact on environmental protection. Recycling, reducing your waste, minimizing energy consumption by closing your blinds, turning the lights off, all of those little things are essential for all of us to do at all times. Plus, it's less expensive. At the community and city level, we can implement more sustainable practices by expanding the green spaces and reducing the heat island effect from parking lots. When your parking lots are right up against the buildings, it causes the buildings to heat up more, and you're going to use your HVAC, your AC units more, which is very expensive. Increasing access to high-speed electrical vehicle charging stations for travel, and promoting walkability is another way that the city can address climate change, and providing convenient drop-off locations for non-recyclable items. We all have styrofoam that we're working with, and chemicals. And while many people are eager to adopt sustainable lifestyles, we must make those choices easy for them and accessible for them to use, or they're just going to throw stuff in the trash. So as a city, we can help make that accessible and easy for them. One of our city goals is to implement a climate action plan. And so for me to start working on this now, we really need just to reactivate our sustainability committee here within the city and start that process of brainstorming to implement these sustainable practices.
Well, thank you, Councilor Gustafson, for your time today. I really feel like I've gotten to know you better as a voter, and hope that other voters will be able to do the same through watching this video, or interacting with you and engaging with in the election, or just meeting you for coffee as constituents as they can in a small community like this. I wish you the best on November 5th, and urge everyone to get out and vote.
Thank you very much.